Speak lack, and you get lack. Speak abundance, and abundance flows to you. Most people don't realize this, but the words you use aren't just sounds. They are commands, instructions, direct orders to your mind and the universe. Every time you talk about what you don't have, you're building more of it. But shift your language to abundance, and your life will begin to shift with it. You see, wealth isn't just about money, it's about mindset. And the real secret? Rich people don't just have more money, they think differently. That's the only difference. This truth right here will either keep you trapped forever, or it will unlock the freedom you've been searching for. Let's get one thing straight. Money isn't real. It's not just paper or coins. It's an idea, a story we've all agreed to believe so we don't have to fight for food. But here's the deeper truth. Money is energy, and energy, it flows wherever your focus goes. That means, whether you realize it or not, you already have the power to create wealth, anytime, anywhere, starting with your mind. The real millionaire mindset is not about having millions in the bank. It's about unshakable confidence in your ability to create, not earn, but create. Creation is the source of abundance. When you move with purpose, when you build with vision, when you believe in your power, money isn't something you chase, it's something that flows to you. Because the universe, it's always listening, always responding, not to your needs, but to your vibration. If you think like a creator, act like a creator, and speak like a creator, wealth will follow you, not as luck, but as a natural result of who you've become. There's nothing wrong with being broke. We've all been there. It's a part of the journey. It's temporary, a situation. But being poor, that's something different. Poverty is not a lack of money. It's a disease of the mind. It's a belief that you're stuck, that you can't change, that someone else holds the keys to your destiny. And here's the hard truth. There is no nobility in poverty. I've been poor. I've been rich. And I choose rich every single time, not just for the money, but for the freedom, the choices, the power to design your life. Because what keeps most people stuck, it's not a lack of effort. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. They don't challenge their beliefs. They don't realize they're running a script, repeating thoughts someone else gave them. Your mind, it's a factory, and the thoughts you feed it, they're the ingredients that build your life. As you think, so you become. Your mind is more than a powerful tool. It's a factory, constantly producing your reality based on the thoughts you feed it. Every belief you hold, every word you repeat, becomes raw material for the life you're building. Most people think it's about hard work, and that matters, but true wealth doesn't start in your hands. It starts in your head. Rich people talk to themselves differently. They say, I'm a winner. I will make this happen. The bottom is too crowded, so I'm heading to the top. While others complain, they program. While others wish, they wire. If your self-talk still sounds like limitation, doubt, fear, you're not broke. You're still mentally poor. But when you shift the inner voice, the entire outer world follows. You are what you repeatedly say to yourself. So speak like a champion, think like a creator. Model your thoughts around the person you want to become, not the life you're trying to escape, because your mind listens and it builds exactly what you tell it to. Here's a mindset that millionaires live by. Act as if. Want to be a CEO? Act as if you already are. Want to be a millionaire? Walk like it, talk like it, make decisions like it now. Because your identity shapes your reality. We don't get what we want, we get what we're aligned with. Most people wait until they succeed to feel successful. But high achievers flip it. They master identity first. They visualize the result until it becomes so familiar that it feels real. And here's the thing. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. When you rehearse the win, you build the wiring. When you feel gratitude for success before it shows up, you call it in. So stop reacting to current circumstances. Start showing up as the future version of you today. Because once you shift your identity, everything else begins to follow. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants freedom, the house, the lifestyle, the impact. But not everyone is willing to pay the price. See, the difference between wanting it and getting it often comes down to one word: obsession. They'll tell you, you need balance, don't overwork, take it easy. Maybe that's true sometimes, but when you're building a dream that sets you apart from 99% of the world, balance is a myth. The top 1%, the real movers and shakers, they didn't get there on 9-to-5 energy. They went all in, locked in, laser focused. While everyone else was out living balanced, they were mastering their craft, working, learning, obsessing. That word, obsession, has been misunderstood. People hear it and think it's unhealthy. But when you're chasing something meaningful, when you're trying to change your life, raise your family's standard, or leave a legacy, how could you not be obsessed? People who've done great things weren't lukewarm. They didn't half try. They dove in head first. Obsession isn't stress. It's rhythm. It's flow. That state where you lose track of time because you're so in tune with your purpose that the grind becomes joy. It's not burnout when you love what you're building. And no, this isn't about working 24/7 forever. It's about seasons. There are seasons for sprinting, and if you're in that season right now, don't let anybody make you feel guilty for going hard. Let them chase balance. You chase greatness. Because here's the truth. Part-time effort gives part-time results. If you put in 50%, you get 50%. But when you commit fully, when you lock in, obsess, and give it your all, you hit a level of progress that most people will never experience. You start going to bed proud, waking up inspired. Not because the path is easy, but because you know you're running with your full potential, not jogging with excuses. So no, you don't need to be balanced right now. You need to be obsessed, committed, tunnel-visioned. Let the world call it crazy. That's fine. Let them watch your success and wonder how you did it. Because once you start winning, they'll call it genius. But you'll know the truth. You were obsessed, and that made all the difference. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to have all the answers. But if you want to win in life and business, you better move fast. That's one thing all high performers have in common. They don't wait. While most people overthink, hesitate, and second guess, winners make a decision and go. Fast, imperfect, and relentless. They understand a powerful truth. You can't steer a parked car. You can't adjust a plan that doesn't exist. But when you get moving, doors open, feedback flows, and momentum builds. I asked a mentor once, a man worth hundreds of millions of dollars, what his secret was. He didn't say luck, he didn't say education or timing. He said, I move faster than everybody else. By the time most people are still thinking about an idea, I've already made 3 mistakes and found a better way. Think about that. While the world waits for clarity, successful people create clarity through action. They're not afraid to fail fast, learn quick, and pivot harder. The truth is, failure is only a problem when you stop moving. But if you keep going, if you turn every setback into feedback, you become unstoppable. Speed creates confidence. Speed creates opportunity. The faster you move, the faster life responds. The longer you wait, the colder the trail gets. Opportunities don't linger. They knock once, and then they move on to someone bolder. The difference between average and extraordinary often comes down to one thing: how fast you execute when the idea hits. Because let's be honest, we all get ideas, dreams, innovations, but most people kill them with over-planning and procrastination. Winners run with them. This doesn't mean you act carelessly. It means you take calculated risk. You move, you learn, you evolve, and you do it again. Speed is not about chaos. It's about rhythm with urgency. Fast doesn't mean sloppy. It means decisive. And here's the best part. Once you build the habit of speed, decision-making becomes instinct, action becomes automatic, and success becomes inevitable. So while the rest of the world says, "Let me think about it," you say, "Let's go." Most people live as if the world is running out of money. Like there's a finite pie, and if someone else gets a bigger slice, they're left with crumbs. But here's the truth. Money isn't limited. Money is energy, and energy is everywhere. Rich people don't fear running out. They know they can create more. If they lost everything tomorrow, they would build it all back again, and faster. Why? Because their wealth doesn't come from what's in their bank account, it comes from what's in their mindset. But poor thinkers, scarcity thinkers, they believe there's never enough, that success is a zero-sum game, that if someone else is winning, it means they're losing. They wait, they hesitate, they protect instead of produce. They shrink their vision because they believe in limits. And that belief is the very thing that keeps them stuck. Understand this. Abundance is not something you chase, it's something you accept, something you align with. It's not about how much is out there, it's about how open you are to receiving it. If you see opportunity everywhere, you'll find it. If you see shortage, you'll get more of it. Because your mind is always scanning for what you've trained it to look for. So ask yourself, are you looking for evidence of limitation or proof of unlimited potential? The crazy part? The money you want, the freedom you crave, the life you dream about, it's already in motion. It's just waiting for you to stop blocking it with disbelief. You don't need permission, you need alignment. Money isn't something to hoard or fear. It's a tool. It flows to those who serve, who create, who step into motion with the bold belief that there is more than enough to go around. So the next time you hear yourself say, "I can't afford that," or "money doesn't grow on trees," pause, rewrite it. Say instead, "How can I generate the money for this?" Or "There's always more where that came from." Because there is. The truth is, abundance isn't reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It belongs to the person who believes and acts as if it's already theirs. Whatever you believe about money, you're right. So believe something better. Believe something bigger. Let go of scarcity and lock into the frequency of abundance. Money flows where belief grows. Everyone wants the dream, the house, the freedom, the legacy. But very few are willing to fight the battle that comes with it. The daily grind, the repetition, the discipline, the sacrifices no one sees. We live in a world that glorifies results, but hides the reality behind them. People envy the million-dollar moments, but they don't see the million tiny decisions made in silence. The ones where you show up even when you're tired. The ones where you say no when everyone else says yes. The ones where you keep walking forward, even when progress feels invisible. This is where purpose comes in, because if you don't know why you're doing it, the grind will break you. But if you do, the grind will make you. You see, motivation fades, hype disappears, but purpose pulls. Purpose wakes you up before the alarm. Purpose gets you out of bed on the days when your mind says quit. Purpose makes the pain worth it. You stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" And you start saying, "This has to happen. I'm built for this." And the harder the day gets, the more the real you shows up. Every morning, the battle isn't with life, it's with yourself, your laziness, your comfort, your distractions. You can't win a war you're not willing to fight daily. You're not losing because of the world. You're losing because you're still negotiating with the old version of yourself. Ask yourself this right now. What are you chasing? What's that one thing that gets you back on your feet when life knocks you down? That dream so big it makes your excuses feel small. Because if you don't know, if you can't name it, you're running in circles, working hard, but not with purpose. And that's the fastest way to stay stuck. But when desire meets direction, when your grind is driven by something bigger than you switch levels. You don't just hustle, you build legacy. You don't just work for money, you fight for meaning. Remember, success isn't built in sudden leaps. It's built in quiet nights, early wake-ups, repetitions, relentless effort. It's built when no one's watching. So if you're in the grind right now, tired, doubting, dripping sweat, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Keep going, not because it's easy, but because your purpose demands it. Pause for a moment and ask yourself again, what's your why? And if the answer isn't powerful enough to pull you through the hard days, keep digging. Because when you find it, nothing can stop you. The number one thing keeping people broke isn't their bank account, it's their mouth. We grow up thinking of words as harmless, just talk, just thoughts. But here's the truth, your words are spells. What you speak, you give life to. Your voice echoes into your mind, into your nervous system, into your future. I'm broke enough times and your brain starts making it a reality. Say, I can't afford that, and your brain believes it. Say, I never win, I'm not lucky, I'm just not that kind of person. And you just handed your power over to limitation. Your words shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your destiny. We act like success starts on the outside, in strategy, in skills, in effort. But long before any of that, success starts in your language. What are you saying when no one's listening? You must understand this. Your words don't describe your life, they create it. They're not reporting on what's happening, they're dictating what happens next. And most people are reinforcing their limits with every conversation. They speak in fear, in limitation, in doubt, and then wonder why abundance never finds them. But rich thinkers, millionaire minds, they speak differently. They say, I am capable. If I want more, I'll become more. There's always a way. They condition their belief system through language over and over again, not because it's magic, but because it reprograms the subconscious. Every time you speak power, your mind rewires. It stops resisting and starts responding. It stops defending scarcity and starts building abundance. So speak life, speak abundance, speak bold. Replace I can't with how can I? Swap I'm not good at this for I'm getting better every day. Turn I'll never make it into I'm on my way. Because repetition is reputation, and your repeated words become your identity. The truth is, your current life is a reflection of past conversations. So if you want to change your future, you must start talking like the person who already lives in that reality. Speak as the winner. Speak like the millionaire. Speak as the leader. Not out of arrogance, but out of belief. Remember this, you are always one conversation away from changing your life. And sometimes that conversation is with yourself. So stop cursing your future with careless words and start commanding your destiny one sentence at a time. Every success story you've ever heard had one thing in common. It began with a vision before there were any results. Not money, not status, not support, just faith and imagination. See, the world will ask you to be realistic, to look at your current situation and accept it as truth. But billionaires, innovators, world changers, they don't see life as it is, they see life as it could be. Because here's the truth most people never learn. Possession begins in the mind long before it shows up in your life. If you can't see it internally, you'll never hold it externally. Your future has to live in your faith first before it can live in your reality. But this is where most people fall. They don't believe they're worthy of a better life. They don't believe they're capable of change. They don't believe the vision they carry is possible, so they shrink and settle and play small. But here's what they miss. That burning idea in your heart, that quiet dream in your spirit, it wasn't given to your parents. It wasn't handed to your friends. It was given to you because it's yours to build. You don't need everyone to believe in it. You need you to believe in it. And you need that belief to be so fierce, so unshakable, that even when things fall apart, and they will, you keep moving. Even when nobody else claps, you still go. Even when doors slam in your face, you keep finding windows. Why? Because faith isn't passive. Faith moves. Faith acts before the evidence. Faith dares to look insane before looking successful. And the moment you start pairing belief with action, the universe begins to respond. Ideas come, people appear, doors open, resources align. Not luck, alignment. But none of that happens until you make one decision: to trust the vision you've been given, even if nobody else sees it yet. So stop talking yourself out of the dream. Stop lowering it to match your current circumstances. Start raising your mindset to match the dream. Because when you believe without boundaries and move without fear, that vision becomes inevitable. And always remember this: you don't get what you want. You get what you believe is already yours. You will fall. You will fail. You will be humbled. That's not negativity. That's reality. But here's what separates winners from the rest. They don't see failure as final. They see it as training. Most people stop at the first sign of pain, first rejection, first no, first setback. They hear "not yet" and translate it as never. But champions, they lean into resistance. They know that every time life knocks them down, they're getting stronger, not weaker. The truth is, you're not losing, you're learning. You're not broken, you're just being built. See, life doesn't throw challenges at you to crush you. It brings them to qualify you, to stretch you, to prepare you for the weight of the dream you're chasing. Because the vision you have, the purpose you carry, it's heavy. It requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. And the only way to meet that version is through the fire. You get braver when you've been bruised. You get wiser after the loss. You get sharper every time life humbles your ego. So if you're walking through a storm, keep walking. If you're tired, that's okay. Rest if you must, but never stop. Because pain is not your prison. It is the pathway to your potential. And no one talks about this enough. Success is hard, not just in effort, but in endurance. Can you keep going when it's not working? Can you keep believing when nothing around you looks like progress? Can you trust that the pain is not punishment? It's progress in disguise. That's the test. Most won't pass it. They'll turn back. But winners, they adapt. They evolve. They keep showing up with scars and sweat and grit in their eyes. It's not how many times you fall. It's whether you get up with more conviction than you had before. So stop calling it failure. Start calling it refinement. Because every time you get back up, you're getting closer. Every time you rise, you rewrite what's possible. And every time you get knocked down and choose to rise again, that's victory. Pain didn't defeat you, it developed you. And one day, you'll look back and realize the battle you thought was breaking you was actually building the warrior you were born to be. They'll call you obsessed, as if that's a bad thing, as if caring deeply, showing up fully, and committing completely is something to apologize for. But let me tell you something they won't. The successful are obsessed. They don't dip their toes in, they dive in head first. They don't kind of want it, they breathe it. Their purpose wakes them up in the morning. It keeps them moving when motivation dies. It drives them when the odds are stacked, the critics are loud, and the path gets lonely. Because when you're locked into your purpose, you don't wait for inspiration, you become it. And that's when something powerful begins to happen. You step into the flow state. You stop forcing things and start aligning with them. You stop grinding with resentment and start building with joy. Work doesn't drain you, it fuels you. You stop watching the clock and start owning the moment. That's flow. Not a lucky accident, not something reserved for artists or athletes. It's a result of living in your calling. When what you do and why you do it finally line up, everything begins to click. And sure, it won't always feel magical. There will be hard days, boring days, heavy lifts. But even in the struggle, there's satisfaction, because you know you are building something that matters. Most people never feel this. Why? Because they're chasing money without a mission. They're clocking in for stuff they don't care about, then wondering why they feel lost and empty. Not you. You're not just working, you're serving a purpose. And when that becomes your obsession, your fire, your rhythm, you unlock your best, most creative, most dangerous self. That's when people start to notice. Something's different about you. You're focused, you're driven, you're moving like you already know where you're going, and you do. You're not addicted to hustle, you're addicted to meaning. So don't shrink back. Don't apologize for caring more than most. Stand tall in your obsession. Own it. Fuel it. Let it make you unstoppable. Because when you're flowing in alignment with your purpose, you don't need balance. You don't need approval. You don't even need motivation. You've got rhythm, you've got clarity, you've got purpose. And that's more than enough. Let's be honest. The world lied to you. They told you to get a job, play it safe, wait 40 years, then pray for retirement. But here's the truth. A job is not security. Security is an illusion unless it lives inside you. Because jobs come and go. Markets crash. Companies downsize. But your skills, those go with you everywhere. Want real freedom? Then stop chasing job titles and start building skills that print money. Learn to sell. Learn to lead. Learn to solve problems. Because nobody ever got rich clocking in. They got rich by doing what most won't, by learning how to produce results. You don't need a diploma to get rich, but you do need discipline, communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, persuasion. Not school smarts, street smarts, life skills, business skills, people skills. And let's talk about selling. If you can't sell an idea, a product, or a vision, you'll always be at the mercy of someone who can. People say, I don't like sales. But here's the truth. You sell every day. You sell your time, your talents, your presence, your partnerships, your worth. You're either closing or someone else is closing you. You say you want freedom, but freedom comes from knowing how to create value on command. That's what skills do. They give you levers that you control. so you're never again begging for permission, job openings, or raises. And here's the real game changer. Once you've built real skills, you'll never feel broke again. Because you'll know deep down, if I lost everything, I could rebuild. Because I am the machine. That's the mindset. Not dependency, self-sufficiency. Want to be the king of your life? Then stop acting like a servant. Start investing in the things that make you valuable. Not just your resume, but your results. Whether it's launching a business, creating content, leading a team, teaching, writing, selling. Your future will be built from your capabilities, not your job title. So when people ask what you do, don't just say, I work at. Say this instead. I'm building skills that nobody can take from me. Because that's the future. That's real security. And when things fall apart, because sometimes they will, your skills become your survival kit, your launch pad, your comeback story. So stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an asset. Learn to sell, learn to lead, learn to create, and you'll never go hungry again. Here's a truth that most people never fully grasp. Belief is the real currency. Money comes and goes, markets crash, fortunes rise and fall. But belief? Belief is the foundation that never crumbles. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't need the best education or the perfect plan. What you need is the capacity to believe. To believe in yourself, your vision, and your ability to create. Look around. Failures see the hole in the donut. Winners see the donut around the hole. It's not about what you lack. It's about what you believe you have. Most people use their power of faith to believe in fear, doubt, and defeat. But winners? They use that same power to build dreams, to create realities, to move mountains. Your bank account is a reflection of your belief system. If you believe you're limited, you'll stay limited. If you believe you deserve greatness, you'll find a way to get it. Belief is not blind optimism. It's a deep, unshakable conviction that no matter what happens, you will rise. You will adapt. You will win. And here's the kicker. Belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself, others start believing in you too. Doors open. Opportunities appear. The universe aligns with your mindset. But if you doubt yourself, if you hesitate, if you second guess, you'll stay stuck. You'll miss the chances that were waiting for you. So ask yourself, what do I truly believe about myself? Do I believe I'm worthy of success? Do I believe I can create the life I want? If the answer isn't a resounding yes, then it's time to change your story. Because your success isn't about luck or talent. It's about your capacity for belief. The difference between success and failure isn't resources or intelligence, it's belief. So feed your mind with faith. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher. Speak words that build you up, not tear you down. Remember, you don't get what you want. You get what you believe is already yours. And when your belief is strong enough, nothing can stop you. Now it's time to get real. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more hoping someone will hand you success on a silver platter. No more excuses. Your future isn't coming. It's already here, waiting for you to claim it. You have everything you need inside you right now. The vision, the power, the potential. But potential means nothing without action. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? Who's going to stop you? What's holding you back beside your own doubt? The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one owes you a break. No one will hand you your dreams. You have to go get them. You have to fight for them. You have to become the person who deserves them. And it starts with one step. one decision, one moment of courage. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start. Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And every step forward builds momentum. Every action compounds. Every day you show up, you get stronger, smarter, closer. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Believe in yourself. Protect your dreams. Chase your vision with everything you've got. Remember, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself. Change your story. Change your mindset. Change your life. You were born to win. You were engineered for success. Now it's time to prove it to yourself and the world. So get up, show up, and go get it, because the only limits that exist are the ones you accept. And today, you choose to be limitless.